Series. Tonight we are at the famed Daytona International Speedway for some high-speed, high-banked action. Going to be a lot of pack racing here tonight. Give me speeds over 200 miles per hour. I know myself, just in testing alone, you can reach 210 miles an hour. So in the draft, these guys are going to be really ripping around here. Should be a good, fun one out there. I got Jimmy Covert with me in the booth. How are we doing tonight, Jimmy? It's like maybe a little technical difficulty with Jimmy right now. Well, anyway, hey, there he is. Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. I mean, through the first couple of races this year, we've had a bunch of different guys leading. I think over half the series has led at least one lap. Two different winners, with Chris Hamilton winning the opener at Michigan, Nick Nickerson dominating at Dover, but Kevin Foster making the pit strategy work at Dover for the second race. And that will see Chris Hamilton as your points leader by 4 points over Kevin Foster. Dylan McDonald, Thaddeus Marshall round out your top four with a tie with Paul Butler and Eric Andrews, 22 points back there, tied for fifth. So what do you think is the strategy going to be here? I mean, obviously there's probably two strategies that come to mind for me, and that's, get out front and try and run away from the action, or stay in the back and avoid the accidents. So we got about less than a minute left here in qualifying right now. Chris Hamilton, your points leader, is on top of the boards here in qualifying with Matthew Goring and Dylan McDonald. The top three right now, all within a 100th of a second. And you'll see that a lot here with qualifying. It's going to be really tight, and even the action is going to be really tight because these cars do draft really well. It's going to be a little different than what we used to see back when we had this series before, as these cars are really floaty, really boaty, and they still got a little bit of the boat action right now, but with the update, we've talked about it before, that they're tighter, and they actually do get kind of tight off the corners here, so it may not just be, foot to the floor and go for it. Ricky can tell us. Yep. So one thing we are going to also do is going forward, we're going to try and designate a driver as the in-race reporter, and we'll also try and bring some more guys in before the race and throughout the race. But with that being said, let's go ahead and bring in tonight's in-race reporter, which is Brandon Metler. Brandon, you get the booth here. You got a copy?
I got you.
So it looks like you got a pretty decent sized field here. A little over 20 cars. Doesn't look like you put in a qualifying attempt. Was that by plan, or was it that you just didn't get the lap times in there?
Yeah, kind of by plan. I didn't make it back home from practice much at all, so I want to start at the back and just see what the car is like. I've never really driven the car here at Daytona, let alone any other track. So just get a feel for the car and see what it's like before getting the draft and that sort of thing. Just taking it easy for the first couple laps here.
So is your strategy pretty much going to be just hang out in the back and kind of watch everybody else, see what everybody's doing, and then make your moves later, or are you going to go for any kind of opportunities when they present?
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to try to stick to the high line here. I'm not comfortable running the low line yet, no matter what. So if the top line opens up and everybody wants to go low, I'll take the top and go around everybody, but we'll just see what happens.
All right, sounds good. Well, good luck out there, buddy, and keep it safe. I know that's usually the key word when it comes to Daytona, just, make it to the end. So hope to be talking to you towards the end of the race in a prime position.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Brandon Metler. He is going to be your in-race reporter here. We're going to go ahead and bring in Chris Hamilton. We cannot bring him in, our pole sitter here tonight. He is not in the channel, so we'll just go ahead and keep running through the field here and try and show you your favorite drivers out there. But yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see how these guys feel out these cars. It's not just your typical Daytona again, where you can just put your foot flat to the floor. These cars are going to dance around a little bit, so hopefully these guys can keep it clean, keep it off the walls, and keep it off each other. Absolutely, yeah. 50 laps is the other key word here. Is you got to make it all 50 laps. You got to finish first. You need to first finish. So we will see these guys as they come down to take the green flag here. Chris Hamilton will lead them to the line. And already we have a car sent all the way to the inside. Your second place starter, the 95, gets sent straight to the inside. Definitely got to see what happened there. That's not what you want to see right off the start. Really looks like, I'm not sure if he missed a shift or what, but he was really slow in front of Wes Fuller there, and Wes got in the back of him and sent him. Yeah, real hard incident there too. Yeah, look. I mean, he just really slowed up there. It looks like he must have missed a shift there, but that's a real shame. I mean, you qualify second, you figure you're in a good spot, you're going to avoid the incidents right off the bat, and all of a sudden you become the incident. So let's go ahead and see if we can pull up one of the other drivers that was involved there. We'll bring in Wes Fuller into the action here and kind of get his perspective to see what he's seen out there. So Wes, this is the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah. What's up?
So it almost seemed like, from our point of view, it looked like Matthew maybe just missed a shift, and obviously that gave you no chance to do anything. Is that what it seemed like in front of you?
Yeah, he didn't get the greatest of starts, and just kind of riding behind him, and then next thing I know, he just stops like he missed a shift or something, and I literally had nowhere to go but push his rear end up in the air, basically. And then unfortunately somehow I got deemed that was my fault. So I guess I got to fight and get it back up to the front.
Well, you got a long race out there. I see you're in the pits. Did you get any kind of damage from that, or is it still pretty clean?
No, it's still pretty clean. I was going to have to go to the back anyway. Might as well take some tires and put some fuel in the car. Maybe if we get a long run, I can outsmart him with some fuel strategy.
All right, sounds good, buddy. Well, good luck out there. Keep it clean, and I'm sure we'll see you working your way back through the field.
Thanks, man. I'll catch you later.
That was Wes Fuller, driver of the number 35 Busch-sponsored car. Again, innocent bystander right there. Wes qualifies nicely up in the front, and that's all it takes. One guy missing the shift. These cars aren't exactly that easy to shift. Some of these guys drive without a clutch. Some of these guys use auto blip. All different kinds of ways to get up through the gears. But if you're trying to shift conventionally and you miss clutch it, you try and blip it and don't hit the revs right, that's exactly what's going to happen. You can miss a shift, and luckily and surprisingly, I mean, how the 95 shot across the field and didn't collect anybody else, I guess that's kind of amazing, and the rest of the field got to breathe a sigh of relief on that one. So getting ready to go back green here. Chris Hamilton, once again, is going to be your man in the front. Dylan McDonald now going to be the man on the outside with Ricky Gonzalez, Thaddeus Marshall, Nick Nickerson, Mark Gonzalez.
Good year.
What's up, Jimmy? That's okay. You can feel free to come have us visit you anytime. Yeah, I'm just...
That's some bullshit, but yeah, thanks.
I was wondering what happened to you there. All right, so this time Hamilton will be the control car, not the green flag. So we will see if he's going to kind of hold up and let Ricky Gonzalez try and push him out there, which it looks like that's what he may do. Gonzalez doesn't get that good of a jump. McDonald will stay with him as they cross the line coming into turn one. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's a few laps down, so we should see him try and get some laps back. Obviously, if there's cautions and getting some wave rounds and things like that. So it's a shame, that he can't catch a draft because this draft is going to play a big part here. And you see the guys already on lap one. I mean, just winding up the cars, and Hamilton already hitting 213 into the corner. Nick Nickerson dancing around back there in fifth place, trying to look for a way through. And that's the thing. I mean, a lot of these guys are used to getting in cars here at Daytona and bump drafting and pushing up through here. But these cars, if you don't hit them right, they're going to get loose and they're going to get squiggly, and that can end up taking you out. Yeah, you see him almost kind of peeking to the middle there, and now looks like he's going to choose the outside line and see how that one runs. But so far, we are keeping it pretty clean up here. Field spreading out just a little bit. As you see the 44 getting loose, getting to the inside. He hit the wall hard on that one. Looks like we will keep it green as he loses a tire as the tire goes rolling up back on the track. Wonder if that's going to bring out a caution for debris. It looks like we will keep it green here as that was a single car accident. Meanwhile, back up front, new leader out there, Dylan McDonald, out to the point. brought along the 87 of Thaddeus Marshall, who was in second. Nick Nickerson trying to clear him on the outside right now. And it looks like that outside line may be the preferred line at this point. You seen right before we showed John Nominger running to the inside, the 88 there of Mark Gonzalez scraping the wall coming off of 4. And that's where, you know, like I said, these cars will get a little bit tight coming out of the corners. You see Dylan McDonald, great save there up front. Almost the big one right there already as he got way loose. Looks like he might have got a little push in the corner by the 7. An unbelievable save right there from the 38. And what that's going to do is put your guy that was at the point for most of the week last week, Nick Nickerson, out there in front. Looks like Mark Gonzalez scraping the wall a little bit again. You can't do that too much or you're going to have a bad day. It's going to really screw your arrow up, and you're not going to be able to keep up with the pack. As it looks like Brandon Metler may have had the same thing happen to him that John Nominger did. Looks like he got a little loose coming off of 4. See some battling back here in the pack a little bit. Paul Butler getting around Dave Lohr as he tries to go ahead and catch up to the next lead pack up here. And you see this car's really just getting slidey going through the corners, even through the tri-oval on the front stretch there. Looks like we will have an accident now as the 87 and 38 come together again. Big one coming out of 4. Guys really need to check it up. And doesn't seem like it happened. And guys still getting in the wreck. Yeah. Looks like Thaddeus Marshall gets into the outside wall, comes down, collects a 38, and that just starts the chain reaction. Yeah, real unfortunate there, as it looked like a lot of guys getting tangled up late, and I don't know if guys were just trying to pass the guys that were going slow there, and maybe collect some positions, but really, bad choice there, and bad move by a lot of those guys coming in there as fast as they were with the caution already being out. And that's another thing that does come into play here with these cars is since they dance around so much and they don't seem to grip up as much, the taking tires is kind of a big thing. Like you almost kind of want new tires. Like normally on, your cup cars or your trucks, you can get away with maybe not taking tires the entire race if you wanted to, but with these cars dancing around, you will wear out the tires enough that it's worth taking tires when you come in the pits. As it looks like Mark Gonzalez will beat Nick Nickerson out of the pits, and I believe that will shuffle him to the lead. So another thing, getting back to the pits, is if we do get long green flag runs, looks like the pits will be roughly from 18 to 20 laps is your fuel run. And that's where, another thing comes into play is, we talked about these guys being aggressive and they're trying to get as many positions as you can. But when you're coming into the pits, especially if it's under green, you need to make sure you come in with friends. Because if you come out and you're coming out with nobody and you don't have a draft, you're going to get eaten up really quick. So these guys do have the fast repair, and I'm sure a lot of guys have spent that already. As you've seen, tires and parts flying off the cars all over the place. It's really nice seeing it, seeing the damage model put to work there from the broadcast booth. If you're one of the drivers out there, you certainly don't want to see that. So real quick, we will let's bring in our Aaron Race reporter while we have a chance here. We'll bring Brandon Metler back in the booth and maybe get an idea of what happened to him earlier in the race when it seemed like he spun out a little bit, and then get his point of view from that wreck there. So, Brandon, back in the booth, you got a copy?
I gotcha.
So, it looked like you had was it a single car spin when you went sliding to the inside there?
Yeah, I think my right rear kind of dipped the wall coming out of the turn, and it just kind of tail whipped me into my right front hit the wall, and I just kind of spun out for that. Stay out of the way, and Jay turned it around the pits, got fast repair, and stayed on the lead lap.
Yep, looks like you're back out there, and looks like you're back getting ready to go green. So good luck out there. Keep it clean, buddy.
I will try.
All right. And the 88 machine, the Hooters machine of Mark Gonzalez, will lead you back to the line here. Looks like he got a bit of a line for me on the inside. Nick Nickerson let out there by himself, but he knows how to make that outside work, and he knows how to make that side draft work. So I don't see him getting shuffled back too quickly, but the inside line definitely formed up nicely, as it looks like Mark Gonzalez will go up there and try to collect Nick Nickerson, but that's going to allow the 8 of Kevin Foster on the inside to move up to the lead. And kind of interesting, as the brothers are split up here in a catty corner, as Mark Gonzalez is lead car on the outside, as Nick Nickerson looks to the middle here. Bit of a dicey move here this early in the race, as he tried to split the Gonzalez brothers there, as Ricky Gonzalez there in the 7 on the inside behind Kevin Foster. Yeah, certainly if we were 10 or 15 to go, I could see that move, but 15, 16 laps into the race, that's getting a little risky there for my taking, but as Jimmy said earlier, he does like to get to the front, he does like to lead and try and avoid any kind of incidents if possible. Did not see that on my side, as it looks like Ricky Gonzalez will take the lead here Mark Gonzalez dancing around back and forth, still trying to feel out a partner if he wants to go with the fast guy Nick Nickerson or drop down there and ride with his brother. Not sure if we got a little sibling rivalry going on as the 88 gets the 7 a little loose there. A little bit of a bad bump draft. The 88 clips the apron there a little bit, does get it straightened back out, and you see the 38, Dylan McDonald, the guy that was a big factor in that last accident, not wasting any time and looks like not making any friends on his way back out to the front as he will look to the outside, get behind Nick Nickerson, move into third place. Yeah, it looks like nobody's really content staying where they are. I mean, they're 2x2, but every lap it seems like they're switching positions up here. Got a group of about 7 to 8 cars up front, a nice little gap, and then you got another 7 or 8 little gap and another 5 back there. So seems spread out a little bit, and I think this is because of those early incidents. They want to try and spread out a little bit so they can maybe avoid any kind of accidents that happen in front of them. And that's the big thing. It's what a lot of drivers prefer is following a little bit towards the back. But as you see, big wreck there as the 88. Not sure what happened, why he got loose, but he got sent straight up the track into Nick Nickerson. Again, luckily it only took out 2 guys so far, as the rest of the field is catching up to them now. But unbelievable right there how fast he got shot up through there. And I know somebody lost a tire. It looks like Mark has all of his. He may have a blown right front. So, it might be Nick Nickerson that is down a tire right now, but that was pretty wicked right there. And you see on board there from Nick Nickerson, really nothing he could do. He was on the outside and just got caught up in it. Looks like the 8 of Kevin Foster really gave Mark Gonzalez a shot going into the corner. And that's what sent him down on the apron and sent him eventually up into Nick Nickerson. And you see right there on your screen that the 2 of Nick Nickerson is definitely missing that front right as he tries to limp that thing back to the pits. And that's really the best strategy right now. I mean, in real life, you wouldn't be doing that. You wouldn't be right on the rim like that or whatever's left of that front axle. But in iRacing, you don't want to tow. It's a long, long tow no matter what track you're on. So limping back to the pits, you're going to take that fast spare anyway, so go ahead and do some more damage to the car. Yep, interesting strategy there, and you wonder if he's just staying out for that one lap just to take that bonus point, or if he sees all these incidents happening, is like, you know what, I need to get up front and get away from this stuff myself. Looks like he is leaning towards pit road, and he may bring that number 9 raised machine into the pits, and that will surrender the lead back to your pole sitter, Chris Hamilton, as he resumes back at the point. And it looks like the 071, or maybe not, as he is dropping back. I'm not sure if I got my numbers mixed up here. Oh, sorry, that is actually the 78 of Terry Jansen. He will be your second place car. So while we got some time in here, let's try and bring in another driver from the field. We're going to go ahead and bring in Abi Vichuvasim, or maybe I should let Jimmy try and pronounce his last name. But Abi, you're in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Pretty good. I feel like I'm in. I felt like I was doing well for a little while there, and then just got caught up in other people's slides and slips and spins. But yeah, overall, I feel pretty good. I actually feel like I could easily get a top 20. Chances are high. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was the 08 of Abi Vaseline, as Jimmy Cover calls him. As we are back to green here, Chris Hamilton jumping out to the lead, and already we got another spin. Dave Lohr hard into the inside wall. And I'm wondering if that was another situation right there of a missed shift. Well, it looks like Nick Nickerson checked up in front of him as well, so not sure if Nick was backing off of the 78. Not sure. It looks like somebody definitely missed something there. And right there, you hear it from the cockpit. It sounds like Nick Nickerson shifting from second to third, just revved it a little bit too much. It was kind of in between shifts when he was catching up to the 78. So I'm guessing that was probably just a chain reaction with everybody just really close there and really not much you can do. And unfortunately, again, that takes out a bunch of guys. And once again, Dave Lohr finally having a good race. I believe it was earlier this week, or if it was last week. And now you see that's exactly what can happen right here. You get caught up in something like this. So hopefully he's still got a faster pair, because that was a wicked hit to the inside. Yeah, and I think if I'm out there right now, I'm giving plenty of room in front of me. I'm giving a car length in front of me at least, just to get going here, because these cars will draft back up. You will be able to catch back up, there's no sense trying to push these guys to start the race here. It's clearly not working. We're only halfway through the race up to this point, seeing way too many cautions in my opinion. So we'll see what happens as leader seems to be having a bit of a connection issue right now. Nick Nickerson blinking out a bunch of times here, but looks like he's back out there going. So we'll see if we have any takers coming in the pits here, or if they are getting ready to go green. Looks like some of the guys in the back may be thinking about coming back down here, but your top 5 right now will be Nick Nickerson, Dylan McDonald, Eric Andrews, Ricky Gonzalez, and Mark Gonzalez. So this is exactly what can happen at Daytona. I mean, you got guys that think 50 laps is a short race. You got guys that have a little bit of patience, but you get caught up in some early wrecks. It's tough out there. I mean, especially with these cars dancing around a little bit, it just takes one little screw up and one little push the wrong way, and that's exactly what can happen. We've seen for the most part, some of these accidents have been one car or two cars, but we've also had some big accidents like that last one and one other. So hopefully these guys, once they've spent their fast repairs, they don't just try and fly back through and cause another wreck that takes them out of the race. Hopefully they're a little more cautious and a little smarter, but that only goes so far as we're in the second half of the race right now. As we will take the green once again. Hopefully these guys can make it through the tri-oval this time. Nick Nickerson leads the way. Dylan McDonald on his outside, as the rest of the pack will chase them into turn 1. Looks like we have a little bit of connection issues here with the 9 as well. The 9 blinking out a bunch of times through the corners there. But come back to the line, it is still side by side for the lead. Nick Nickerson and Dylan McDonald, your leaders up front. Like the connection for Eric Andrews cleaning up maybe a little bit. Maybe it's just an issue through 3 and 4, but looks like Ricky Gonzalez having the same issue that his brother did. Not sure who he wants to push. So he was diving down low behind Nickerson. Now he dives up behind McDonald, who leaves him out there to dry as he jumps down in front of the 2. Move McDonald to the lead. See if Nick is going to stand for that or if he's going to try and work his way back past. Yeah, I think that car definitely works better in clean air, and that's where he wants it. So he's going to put it back to the outside, put it back to the lead. Not going to be able to get clear as he's not getting a really good push from Ricky Gonzalez, who again is Still trying to figure out who he wants to push here. McDonald will retain the lead for now. Yeah, definitely a good thing to see there, as he was definitely involved in some heavy wreckage earlier, and a lot of these guys were, but still got a good contingency out there. Still got about 15 cars running good and smooth out there. So see them battling back and forth at 9, still having a little bit of issues connection-wise. Good save there, good save. I was not sure what happened while we were looking back there, but the 38 and the 2 have dropped back. Ricky Gonzalez, now your leader, as Eric Andrews still having blinking issues, and Ricky's brother, Mark, follows him down the bottom line, and they'll be 1-2, with Chris Hamilton looking to follow them, and Nick Nickerson jumping right behind, too. Looks like Nick, once again, not content where he's at. He wants to try and get to that lead, but he's going to have to pass both the Gonzalez brothers right now, and it looks like that bottom line is rolling right now. Nick with no help on the top. He gets the run off the corner as somebody, looks like a couple guys, get shot down to the inside on the back stretch. 78 will just barely catch the inside wall. Not too much damage there, so good job locking it up by him. We'll take a run back and see what happened there. Looks like the 78 getting into the 87 coming off the corner. 78 almost going up and over. Looks like the 87 came from the top side all the way down to the bottom side, and I think that caught the 78. Kind of out of position as the 78 was rolling on the inside. 87 tried to fill up the hole there, and 78 basically had nowhere to go but to send him around, and unfortunately it got both of them. Doesn't look like either of them got too much damage. 87 got into the inside wall a decent amount, but I don't see too much on that car. That looks like your overlay may not be working. We actually had 18 to go here, as we will see who is coming in the pits. 18, 27. You know, they're all divisible by 9, so we're good. As the looks like the entire field's going to come in here, other than looks like Brandon Metler and Abiy Vishwavasan will stay out there, but most of the field is going to come in here to the pits. You wonder if the 15 and the 08 may be staying out there to try and lead a lap. So it looks like the 64 of Chris Hamilton only taking 2 tires and getting out of there. Following him, a race off the pit lane between the Gonzalez brothers, as everybody looks like they pretty much are going to take 4 tires here, get some fuel, and hopefully that'll be their last pit stop for the night. But that's where you got to wonder with the 15 and the 08 staying out there. You know, they have to come in here because I don't think there's any way that they're going to be able to make it unless they're banking on a lot more cautions coming out. But it's not really necessarily a track and a race where track position means that much in regards to, trying to stay out front, but, and not really sure. Not really sure what you want to do here, but I know I'm coming in here making sure I'm going to make it to the end if this thing does stay green. Yeah, it's no shocker. Even in real life, you see a lot of guys that win the Daytona 500. They may not ever win again, or even guys that win at Talladega or the Coke 400 or whatever they call the the midsummer race at Daytona. A lot of different guys win those races because it is exactly what Jimmy's saying. It's a lottery. It's a crapshoot. You just have to be there at the end. You have to still be running, still have a car going, and you see Mr. Gambler up there. B is your leader right now. He is going to stay out there. You see him do that at Dover last week. He restarted a little bit late in the race in second. Unfortunately, got caught up in a little bit of an incident there, but hopefully this time he can keep it clean in the lead. And it looks like the outside line is definitely getting a better push as Hamilton will get to the front, lead the cars into turn 1 as the 7 gets in a little bit late on the 08. Luckily, they check up and avoid any kind of incidents there, but that could have been really dicey really quick. So you see two veterans out there right now as Chris Hamilton, your leader, Nick Nickerson in second. And again, Nick not wasting any time. He wants that lead. He doesn't want to wait. Will he get any kind of help? Looks like the 88 helping the 64, trying to push him down the backstretch. Same thing right there with Kevin Foster as he works his way into fifth. You're starting to see some of these guys that like kind of hanging in the back in the beginning start to make their way up front, as it looks like 87 getting in the wall a little bit. And the 88 washing up. It looks like Kevin will be content falling in behind him. But it is getting dicey real quick back there as we're getting close to 10 to go. So it looks like your man on the outside now. Foster will try and take the outside, see what he can do. getting a little bit of help from the 87 and the 071. But it looks like the Nick Nickerson show is back out front, as I believe we have some cars in the wall back there. Looks like they are keeping it clean. That's the 08 and the 38. They're both going to be damaged enough that they're going to have to bring it in the pits. The yellow will remain in the box and not come out, as we now have 11 laps to go. And I'm wondering right now if this is where all that, moving back and forth and just straight going for the lead for Nick Nickerson, if that's going to pay off or not, as he hasn't exactly made any friends going forward, pushing anybody towards the lead or helping anybody get to the front. He's been focused on himself getting to the front, which is good, and it's got him out to the lead right now. But once it comes down to the end, you want some kind of friends to help you keep you out front. Not sure if the 88 of Mark Gonzalez is missing his marks right now, or if he's just kind of figuring out where he needs to make his moves. As you see him kind of sliding up a little bit in turn 1, sliding up a little bit in turn 3, and trying to get that run coming out of the corners. So I wonder if he's just trying to play it up a little bit. As you see his brother, Ricky Gonzalez, getting into the wall a little bit. Getting about 3 wide as it's getting close. And there goes the leader, Nick Nickerson, harder than the inside wall. Looks like we are going to keep it green here, as Mark Gonzalez, your leader, followed by Hamilton, Fuller, and Kevin Foster as they make it through the carnage there. Wow. Talk about shaking things up real quick, and not sure if that was a bump gone bad or what the case was. We'll try and take a look back here. Oh, and yeah, he's a dirt racer, so I guess the grass is about as close as he can get for tonight's race. But that was, you seen it right there. That was just on Nick Nickerson. Looks like he got up into the turn 4 wall coming off the corner. And that sent him down across and possibly ended his race right there. But that's got to be what these top 5, top 10 guys wanted to see. I guess you take maybe your biggest competitor out of the race. Now it's all on these guys to finish it out. Right now, you definitely need to keep it clean. You got to be smart out there. You got to make your moves at the right time. And you see most of this line up front is single file, other than Kevin Foster just kind of hanging out on that outside. Making up a little ground here, losing a little bit of ground there, but, everybody's keeping it clean. And that's what you need to do, as, essentially this is about a 9-car battle, right? Or actually an 8-car battle for the win. And this could be, the situation right here where you're trying to look for your friends. You're trying to figure out who you want to be there with you at the end, because it is 5 to go, and it's just about go time as Paul goes into the wall into turn 1, scrapes it up a little bit. Not sure if that's going to damage him too much to lose his pack. Not what you want to be doing here late in the race. And maybe that's my plan. Maybe, you flatten that right side up a little bit. Maybe it gets a little bit faster in the draft, and, he's right back in the pack again, starting to make some passes. So maybe that's what he wanted to do. Make that car a little bit smaller, a little faster through the wind. Single file now for the front 8 cars, which are Mark Gonzalez, Chris Hamilton, Wes Fuller, Ricky Gonzalez, Eric Andrews, Kevin Foster, Sean Rink, and Paul Butler. As you see, Ricky Gonzalez moved to the outside. Doesn't look like he's getting any help right now, as the 8 of Foster looked like he was going to help him there for a second, but dives back in line. You see how fast it can happen. I mean, he was in 3rd or 4th when he made that move to the outside, and just that quickly, in about a turn, he went all the way back to 9th. So that's where that friend that can join you on the outside will really help you, because if you go out there by yourself and you have 8 cars. As Wes Fuller blinks out on the front stretch, comes back up right in front of the field. Looks like it's single car. Looks like everybody is staying clean, but we will get a caution with 3 to go. Wow. I know that's not what these leaders wanted to see. You're going to bring a lot more guys back into play that were plenty far out of it. You're going to have all different kinds of strategies. I mean, you got at least 8 to 10 guys. Do you take the pit here? Do you take tires, anything like that, with basically a green-white checkered staring you in the face? Well, you see it right there from Brandon Mettler, from Brandon Mettler's cockpit. Can't see anything right now. Oh, I thought it was just Monday that Brandon Mettler was going to give us a laugh, but clearly giving us a nice little laugh here, as can't really say he's towing Thaddeus Marshall. This is something from the movie Cars that you would see Pixar do. I mean, I guess Thaddeus Marshall is the one driving that car, because Brandon can't see anything except underneath. And it sounds like Brandon just blew his engine trying to push. So I wonder if maybe Thaddeus Marshall will hop off of his car now and try and push Mettler back to the pits. Since he saved a bunch of fuel, I guess that's one way to do it. So I think, given the fact that he was our in-race reporter, I think there's no better time to bring Brandon Mettler into the booth than right now. Mr. Mettler, I think you're taking bump drafting a little bit to the extreme.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, I thought your incident on Monday nights in the Pro Ford trucks was good, but I mean, you can't expect us not to laugh at this one right here, as it looked like you were literally piggybacking Thaddeus Marshall all the way back to the pits.
Yeah, we were just running together, nobody even else around us, and he just completely lost it going into one, overcorrected, and we both went straight head onto the wall. I stayed in the gas, rode the wall all the way around the pits, and see what happened. And I eventually blew my motor, and that was that.
Well, heck of an assist. I mean, we'll definitely give you an assist on that. We'll make sure we put that on the stat sheet because you definitely helped them all the way back to the pits. Unfortunately, blew your motor in the process, but tough one out there. I mean, it looks like a lot of guys struggling with shifting, especially on the restarts. Looks like some guys struggling with maybe some of the bump drafting, and just overall kind of dealing with how maybe unstable these cars are. Is that what you're seeing from inside the cockpit?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff. I mean, the first time that I early on hit the wall and kind of spun the inside, that was completely on me. But after that, just everything on my windshield just kind of happened in front of me. The restart for sure, just people missing shift, like you said. It's happened multiple times, I think, and people check up, especially when they're switching gears and stuff. It throws timing off for everybody and just kind of leads to a chain reaction. So, I mean, nothing I can do, obviously, nothing the people behind me can do and that sort of thing, but just kind of how it is.
Well, you may be in the safest spot right now. I know it's not where you want to be, but what do you see for the end of this race? I mean, we got a green-white checker now. You've been racing out there among some of these guys. Who do you think has the upper hand here? Do you think it's the guys that are up front? Do you think it's the guys that are in the back, waiting for that one last caution to bring out the second green-white checker? What do you think's going to happen here?
Well, I definitely expect them to be pretty physical. I think Kevin's kind of sleeping back there in fourth right now. He was starting out towards the tail of that last restart and just kind of slowly making his way up. He's got a lot of experience in these cars from what I've heard and seen in past seasons. So I think he's sleeping around down outside there on the fourth spot. Eric's right beside him. Chris is right behind Eric too. So we'll see if the Gonzalez brothers can hit their shifts first of all and then try to keep out front in the end. So we'll have to see.
All right, sounds good, buddy. So we want to thank you for being our in-race reporter here, and go ahead and give you some time here to give you some plugs for. I know you got BAM racing videos, things like that. So we'll let you give some shout-outs here.
Yep, I won't name them all off just for the sake of time and my own sanity. But anyways, for sure, BAM racing videos, like you said, Facebook and YouTube. Actually flying to Michigan tomorrow from North Carolina to do some sprint cars and ice racing. So super pumped about that. Make sure you check that out. For this weekend, got to thank my Vikings Motorsports teammates. Check us out on Facebook and all of our sponsors on that side.
All right, once again, thanks again. Sorry it didn't work out too well for you. I mean, it looks like you may sneak away with the top 10 as it looks like there's a bunch of guys that are wrecked out right now. So we will talk to you soon. And, enjoy the rest of the race.
Appreciate it.
And the Gonzalez will lead you back to the line as Mark on the inside, Rick on the outside, followed by Eric Andrews, Kevin Foster. They will fall directly in line as Ricky will jump down behind his brother Mark. See what happens behind him as the field has certainly thinned out after that latest incident. Well, hopefully that's exactly what they do. Yep. Yeah, it looks like we got somebody in the wall back there. Looks like it might have been the 71 Jeremy Watkins in the wall, but they will take the white flag. Next flag will end it here as Kevin Foster will take the white flag. Kind of dancing back and forth as the 7 gets loose into the corner. And the 64. That will wipe out some of the back of the field. Mark Gonzalez, in the meantime, going for the lead inside Kevin Foster. Eric Andrews diving down to the bottom, making a 3 wide, almost as he gets into the 88 going into turn 3. This is certainly not over with Wes Fuller hanging right there. Unfortunately, no, he is on the lead lap. So if these guys get into it, coming to the line, though, Mark Gonzalez, your winner. Unbelievable. Eric Andrews finishing second. Kevin Foster third. Wes Fuller in there in fourth. Not sure who's going to limp to the line next, but wow. I mean, there you have it. It looks like a battle between the 71s here. It looks like Jeremy Watkins will finish second. Ricky Gonzalez will finish 7th. or sorry, Lion Watkins in 6th, Jeremy Lion Watkins in 6th, Ricky Gonzalez in 7th, and not sure if anybody else is going to finish the race, but wow, what a finish that was. That was one crazy way to end it. Not surprised after how hard these guys are running for most of the race. I mean, Mark Gonzalez was up there most of the race. Eric and Kevin were kind of hanging back a little bit, so you see both strategies working out. But yeah, your winner celebrating a bit as a B gives him a little shot there. But Mark Gonzalez bringing the Hooters machine back to Daytona, back into victory lane. Great to see for him. All right, so while he's doing his little victory dance, we'll go ahead and bring our first guy into the booth. We have Kevin Foster finishing 3rd. Kevin, this is the booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
So, you took the white flag, and then chaos happened behind you. I mean, looks like the non-Eric Andrews got into the 7 and kind of started the chaos behind you. You were in the prime spot out there in front. Is there anything you could have done differently? I mean, it looks like Mark made that move early coming off of 2. But, yeah, how did you see it from your end?
For some reason, I was just completely sideways all of 1 and 2. I was just having to correct it. I don't know why the car got so loose in 1 and 2 there, but maybe lifted a little bit. But, these cars you can't lift.
So, I mean, you got to be happy with a 3rd place. Looks like you, for the most part, avoided some of the action that was out there tonight. It definitely looked like a rough one. It looked like a lot of people, as we were talking to Mr. Mettler, missing shifts and maybe bumping the wrong way and things like that. Was not an easy one, but you brought it home in 3rd. You got to be happy with that.
Oh, definitely happy. Your goal tonight was definitely top 5, just to help in the points. But the run these cars get at the end of the backstretch is unbelievable, and that's what caused a couple of the incidents, I'm sure, because you don't want to check up because you got a good run, but unfortunately people cut you off and you get into the backup. I got into the back of Mark earlier in the race, but that's the way it goes. We both survived and finished 1st and 3rd, so it didn't hurt us too bad.
Yeah, that will definitely work. So congrats once again on the 3rd place. You got any shout outs you want to give before we send you out of here?
First and foremost, big shout out to Core Racing League because, you guys put this on. It's an amazing venue. I wish more people would come and join because 87 cars are a blast to drive. Congrats to Paul Butler, one of my unofficial teammates out there. Appreciate you. He's doing burnouts next to me. And, friends and family watching. And, first and foremost, I want to thank the lady downstairs. She makes this all possible.
All right, absolutely. So good job there. You came in 2nd in points, and looks like you will possibly add to that and maybe go ahead and jump into the lead in points. So congrats, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
All right. Appreciate you guys for putting the race on the broadcasting. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that was Kevin Foster, your 3rd place finisher. Now we bring in the number 9, Eric Andrews. Heck of a run there to the end. Heck of a job finishing 2nd. Go ahead and take us through that last lap.
Oh, wow. I was just watching the replay of that, and I knew I had to get a decent start because everybody behind me, I know that at least the 2 behind me took 2, and I think everybody else behind was with 4 tires. So I knew I had to get a good restart, and I didn't get that. Ricky got down. And then, so we're going down in the turn, and I knew with us being on old tires, you got to lift a little bit after at least 1 or 2 laps, or you're going to lose it. And I figured if I got on Ricky and drafted with him enough, he might go into the corner a little too hard. And I noticed he got a little loose, so I backed off and got by him. And then it looks like Hamilton and I net coated, but I squeezed in between those 2, and then I had Foster and Mark in front of me, and I stayed up behind Foster and tried to dive down as fast as I could without spinning out. And Mark shut the door just in time and he said gave him the win. So good run by him, good win by him, but good run here by the Vision Rays Energy number 9. So we'll take it. I hung back most of the race, tried to stay out of trouble most of the race, and gave her hell there at the end.
Yeah, we definitely seen that that outside to inside move. Tried to make it work there for sure, and it got really close to making it. But as you say, Mark just closed it up on you. But either way, good second place finish. And you want to give any more shout outs before we send you out of here?
Obviously, Core, you guys doing the broadcast. Everybody puts this on. Joker Graphics, he helps out with my paints. And as I said, Raise Energy. If it wouldn't be for that, I wouldn't have made it through the day today. So, but yep, we appreciate you guys doing the broadcast and everything does at Core.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy. Good job on the second place, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so we got one more guy that we need to talk to, and it looks like the Battle of the Brothers goes to Mark Gonzalez. Mark, this is the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I got a copy.
We figured we'd let you finish up doing your burnouts and everything else like that. It was definitely an interesting race, seeing you up front for a lot of it, battling between your brother, battling between Nick Nickerson, Chris Hamilton, a lot of the guys up there. So you definitely seemed like you wanted to keep that car up front, and it paid off for a win for you.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep the bottom lane just because earlier in the race I tried to run the top, and we just kept falling back. So I knew at that point it was a bottom lane track, and so I just tried to keep it on the bottom, and it paid out for me. What's his name got loose off turn 2, and I got under him and was able to get the bottom again to win the race.
So once you made the move on Kevin off of turn 2 and got to the lead, did you see in your mirror the 9 trying to make that move from the outside to the inside?
Yeah, I saw him make that move. I didn't really know he was outside. He didn't look that much outside in my mirror. I just knew he was trying to go lower, and so I just turned my wheel and got in front of him. That way I could get that push so I could get past Kevin Foster. And about half a second later, I had to lift in order to make the turn.
Well, certainly a good drive out there. Jimmy, you got any questions for your winner here?
Thank you, man. I guess I need to start running core more often.
Yeah, it seems to be working out pretty nicely for you, between Monday night and here tonight now. So good job out there tonight. Good job on the win. And welcome to the Victory Circle in the Core Vintage Series. So any more shout-outs you want to give before we send you out of here?
Yeah, I want to shout out my brother. Me and him, we kind of Ryan Blaney'd it. Like the Daytona 500, we called it out. Getting off the line, so he was able to get to the bottom. So I want to thank him just being a good teammate out there.
All right, well, congrats on the win once again tonight. So looking forward in the schedule, next week we go to Darlington, which is another high-speed, high-bank track, but that certainly presents its own issues and potential incidents. So are you looking forward to next week? Or are you kind of looking forward to it with bated breath? What do you think is going to happen there?
To be honest, I am not looking forward to it because I haven't practiced Darlington with this kind of car ever. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in the back somewhere.
Well, if it's anything like tonight, I'm sure you'll figure it out and start working your way to the front. So we'll see how this shakes up the points. This will certainly help you out with that, and we'll maybe talk to you in the next few weeks to see you in the booth again.
Alrighty, y'all have a good night. Thank you. Thank you.
As we kind of cut him off there, but yeah, I mean, I guess kind of status quo with Daytona here. You can get a really clean race. You can get a lot of the incidents happen towards the end, happen in the beginning, or in this case, kind of happening all throughout the race. It's really tough handling these cars sometimes, especially at the speeds they're going. As we talked about on the first lap, on their opening lap, they're going 210 already by themselves. So I'm sure they're out there reaching 220 miles an hour, and it's not easy just doing that 2-3 wide. So pretty good start to the season for Mark Gonzalez, as this was his first race into the season. Missed the first race, took a provisional at Dover, and then steps in and first win, first start out there. That's a pretty good start. I mean, with 3 races in, 3 different winners, who do you think is going to be the first guy that steps in there and maybe gets that second win? Absolutely, and definitely some other guys that some guys that definitely don't like Darlington, some guys that do like Darlington. I know Paul Butler will certainly be looking forward to that race next week and see if he can try and improve on the finish that he had tonight, finishing with a 12th. But your top 10 tonight: Mark Gonzalez, Eric Andrews, Kevin Foster, Wes Fuller, Sean Rink bringing home the top 5 with Lyon Watkins, Jansen, Ricky Gonzalez, Hamilton, and Metler finished out the top 10. So good job by Metler pushing Thaddeus to 11th place. It looks like Marshall will finish in 11th place, and yeah, that will certainly be sent into iRacing for them to enjoy that one as well. But I enjoyed the race out here tonight. I'm sure you did too. And next week, once again, we will head to the Darlington Raceway, and that will be 100 laps there. So certainly going to be some interesting racing there, as it may turn into one groove, but you have to make passes one way or another. So it will be interesting. But that's going to do it for us here in the booth. For myself, Jimmy Covert, we will see you at the track. All right, I am done.